Hello and welcome to another VectorTuts Quick Tip screencast. My name is Cheryl Graham and I often hear the question, can you apply a gradient to a stroke? Well, the short answer is no. But I'm going to show you how you can get the look of a gradient stroked path using blends. Just to review, I have a zigzag path and it's stroked with black. If I try to apply a gradient to that stroke, you can see that the gradient fills the shape, not the stroke. Even if I try to switch out the fill and the stroke in the Tools panel here, it just won't do it. So, like I said, it's not possible to stroke a path with a gradient. If it were possible, it would look something like this, and that's the look I'm going for. To make a blend, start with a small ellipse, and I've filled that with a dark blue. I'll just drag and copy that to the other side of the artboard and fill that with a light blue. Select them both and go up to the Object menu, Blend, Make. And that gives us a nice smooth blend. Now if you don't see this smooth transition from light to dark, double-click on the Blend tool and bring up the options. You should have Smooth Color selected there. If you have specified steps chosen, it may look very choppy, or indeed you might have very few specific steps to the blend. Now take the blend and drag it onto the Brushes panel. Choose New Art Brush in the dialog that appears, and in this dialog box, give your brush a name if you wish, and you can leave everything on the right side of the box as it is for now. Now the blend appears as a brush in the Brushes panel, and if I draw a stroke like a spiral and click on the brush, it appears to stroke it with a gradient. But what it's doing, of course, is stroking it with the art brush that we just made. You can use a more complicated blend if you wish. Here, to create this spectrum, I used a blend that has 6 stops. If I go back to the Object menu and choose Release Blend, you can see that it's just 6 ellipses in the colors of the rainbow. And again, as before, I dragged the blend into the Brushes panel and created an art brush. Now since it's a brush, of course, I can use the Brush tool and paint with this Rainbow Gradient, or Blend, brush. The neat thing about this, because it's not a filled shape, it's a path, I can change the stroke width, for example. I can scale it to any size. And I can apply an effect to it. So, for example, I'll go up to the Effects menu and choose Tweak. And you can see how that affects the stroke. That's the beauty of this, that it's not a filled path, that you can get some really interesting shapes and effects with the stroke. And it still has that fake gradient applied to it. Rather than have the blend follow the path from one end to the other, you can also make it look as though a gradient is bisecting the path, and we do that with a blend as well. First, draw a rectangle, and I'll fill this one with dark blue. Then I'm going to copy the rectangle and paste it in front, Command-C, Command-F. Then I'll change the color of the top rectangle to a lighter color, make it smaller, align them in the middle, and then create a blend as before. Drag it into the Brushes panel as we did earlier to make a new gradient brush. An interesting thing about this kind of blend brush is that when you use it with a paintbrush, when you draw a path that overlaps, the highlight part of the gradient stays on top. So that's how you stroke a path with a gradient. Thanks for watching.